All right, we are with Chris James Lofton. He is coming back from a back-to-back regional top 8. Got, 6th at Louisville, 8th at St. Louis. What deck were you playing this weekend?
Pure Skystrikers.
Pure Skystrikers. Why'd you choose Pure Skystrikers?
Starting of Ultrageist, and this is just the best deck when played correctly.
Interesting. All right, well, let's get into the deck profile.
Played an even 40, 3 Ray, 3 Ash, 3 Bell, and 3 Ogre. So nine monster hand traps in the main deck, and Ray as the only solid monster. Didn't play Diablos because I just thought that was bad, and I lost to the mirror match to somebody solely because of Diablos. So it's not that bad in the mirror match. 3 Engage, 3 Widow Anchor, and 3 Hornet Drones. You could probably get away with playing drones at 2, but then if you play it at 2 and then don't see a monster, you're just going to complain that you didn't play 3 Hornet Drones, so I just don't want to do that to myself.
Makes sense.
2 multi-roll and 2 field spell. I don't think you need 3 field spell, especially since I'm not playing MST to just like casually pop this to search Ray. It doesn't ever really come up. I didn't have a problem seeing a monster all weekend. And then the one-ofs, Afterburner, Jamming Waves, Shark Cannon, Eagle Booster, and Hercules Base. This recycles your links. This prevents you from getting extra linked. This card is just really nasty, honestly, especially in the mirror match by special summoning one of their Rays or links and then trading it off.
What does Shark Cannon do?
Shark Cannon, so if I control no monsters in the main zone, I can target one monster in my opponent's graveyard, and I can banish that monster. Or if I have 3 or more spells in my graveyard, I can special summon that monster from the field or to my field instead. It just can't attack. So that way I can link it away in the mirror match. And then the Afterburner and Jamming Waves for removal. That was all the Skystriker spells. Then I played 3 Called By. I started debating if I wanted to play it at all, but then I kept remembering it's actually just the best spell card in the game, so just have to. It's just so versatile. 1 Rhoda, 1 Upstart, 1 Burial Goods, and 1 Terraformer. So 25 spells. And then just 3 traps, 3 impermanents. Best trap. So that was an even 40. I played 16 matches this weekend, and I only played against 1 Goki, and I played 4 Skystrikers. And I lost to the Goki, and I only lost to 1 of the Skystrikers. Extra deck, token, 3 Kagaris, 3 Shizukus, and 2 Hayates. Some people were playing 1 Hayate, and like literally every game, I just needed another Hayate. Like if I was only playing 1, I would know I need another one. But there are some instances, like when you go field spell Ray, and that's your only, like you have no other spells in your graveyard, you have to go field spell target Ray tag out, change resolve backwards. Then you special Hayate because you don't have a spell in your graveyard to get back Kagari, and it's too early in the turn to go Shizuku because you don't know what you're going to mill off the top 3. So Hayate is a safe one, and then you mill your cards, and then you go from there. And then if you have another spell to activate, then you go into Kagari, then in phase Shizuku. And then only 2 Nightmares, Unicorn and Phoenix. I made Unicorn twice this weekend, and then and I made a Phoenix too. And then Boral Sword and Triple Burst. I made Boral Sword for game, and I didn't make Triple Burst, but it is a really good card in the mirror match. There just wasn't an opportunity for me to make it at any point.
What does Triple Burst do?
Once returned to the damage step when a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated, quick effect, you can negate the activation. That's the most important part, but if this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage, and then during your main phase, except the turn this is special summon, you can tribute this card and target 1 link 2 or lower monster in your graveyard, special summon it, then you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower dragon from your hand. So that last effect can actually come up if it survives next turn, because then you can special summon Kagari or Shizuku or Hayate from your graveyard as well. And then, but the main importance in the mirror match for this is to stop them from bringing back Ray from the graveyard. And then Link Karibo, the token's level 1, so. And then I had 2 Cherries targets, Isold and Firewall Dragon. And actually, I had to make Isold myself this weekend because I was out of. I was under rivalry, I think. No, I wasn't under rivalry. I was out of Kagar. I was out of all my link monsters, and I just had to make ISOL to do something. So, and then the extra deck or the side deck, 3 cherries. I still think this is an insane blowout. I banished somebody's Kagaris and Shizukus in one game, and they could not play at all. Then they complained about that. So, 3 DD Crow. This card was actually insane too, going second because I would side called by the grave out, and I would have DD Crow. And against a Spiral player, I actually opened 2 Crows and won solely because of that. Where like called by the grave, I couldn't activate because they were in my hand when I was going second. So.
Now, would you say DD Crow is just a tech for the weekend, or?
No, I'm going to keep playing it. Especially, it hits Skystrikers too, because you can just banish the Ray, and it's really good in the mirror match because if you called by the grave the Ray, then you can't use your Ray, and you might need to. But if you DD Crow the Ray, they're out the Ray, and you can still use your Ray. So that actually came up for me. And then 3 Twin Twisters. I kept trying to figure out if I wanted to play MST because I used this list Saturday and Sunday. I didn't change a single card. And then Saturday, my last 2 rounds were True Draco, 7 and 8. And I put Twin Twister in for the first time that day. And the only back row removal I put in for the day was Twin Twister against Draco. And then the next day, I was thinking like, man, maybe MST would be better just because I don't have to, discard a card to possibly blow up one of my spells if I need to like get a Ray Search or a Ray Special off of the field spell. But I just didn't really want to try the MST. So then I kept it in, and Twin Twister worked out great because then I had to play Paleo round 8, and I saw 2 Twisters, and it just absolutely just ended up blowing them out. And then 3 Shared Ride for going first in the mirror match and against Draco. Shared Ride is Max C, the best Max C we have right now, I guess. And then 3 Evenlies. I resolved Evenly I think I resolved this 5 times this weekend, and it blew out my I opened 2 of them against my Paleo player. We went into game 3, and he was going to go second, but then he ended up re-siding game 3, and then told me to go second. He set 4, set a monster demised, and then he set another one, and he discarded 2. So he opened as much as he could, and I opened 2 Evenlies. And after I evenly him, he looked at me and goes, I was so close to letting you go first, like just for that sole reason. And he's like, I should have just trusted my gut. And he just lost from there.
So with Skystriker doing well this weekend, we're obviously going to see more Skystrikers next weekend during the regional, assuming there's no ban list. What would you change with your deck?
Man, I just did 2 back-to-back events without changing a single card. I went 6-1-1 in both events. I think what I really want to do is side Monster Reborn. I don't know what I'd take out. Possibly a Shared Ride, and possibly even Soul Charge as well. Just because the most annoying part about the entire weekend was being stuck under a Goza match, a rivalry, and the floodgates. So essentially, what you do is it's really hard to put a monster on the board at all, or like there's no point of putting a monster on the board if you're under rivalry. You essentially have to wait for an out to a floodgate, or an out to a floodgate or an impermanent. So technically an out to a floodgate again still, but you can reborn one of the machines, one of the link machines, one of your Skystriker links, and then since they're all machines, you can tag out in between them and just keep going. And so if you already have one in the graveyard, it helps a lot. But other than that, I don't have any other changes. Like going in, like after topping on Sunday, MST just wasn't needed. I just realized Twin Twister was honestly better, just because you're going to put Twin Twister in against decks that are floodgate decks, and I just can't think of anything more depressing than like chaining MST to an Imperial Order, and then thinking you're good, and they flip up goes in a rivalry and you're SOL because you didn't hit it with a Twin Twister as well. But no, I think the deck's pretty solid. For the next event, if we don't get any more changes, this is the exact list I'll play again.
Very nice. Well, congratulations, getting 2 top 8s back to back. This is your third top 8.
It's actually 3. Sorry.
This is your 3rd top 8 for the season. So I know you are going for Worlds points, so we will be excited to see more deck profiles of you top 8ing. What else do you have to say? Shout outs, anything like that?
Shout outs to Guardian Games, a sponsor, and other than that, the guys I play with and playtesting and the theories that we bounce back and forth. Also, shout out to David Little for winning topping his first event and winning a 500-man regional out in California this weekend. Congrats to you. You did a good job with Pure Skystrikers as well.
Awesome. Well, this is Alex with Guardian Games signing out. We will be back later for more deck profiles and meta chats. Have a good night.